Welcome everyone, Gamer King Tario here, and today we're going to do another review for the PlayStation Vita on my channel. Today we're going to take a look at Resistance Burning Skies, which was released on May 29th, exclusively for the PlayStation Vita. Now, Resistance Burning Skies has been billed as the first-person shooter on a dual analog portable system. Does it succeed in accomplishing something we've never seen before, or does it fall flat on its face? Let's dig a little deeper. So let's talk about what Resistance Burning Skies does right. And the first thing you're going to notice, and the most important thing, is the controls. The game feels like an FPS. It doesn't feel like, a substitute. Once you get used to the controls, you can really start to feel like you have a console FPS in your hands. The controls to me were absolutely no problem. At no time was I not able to, aim properly or anything like that. If there was something I wanted to shoot at, I was able to shoot at. I was able to switch weapons easily. I was able to use my secondary ammo. You're able to run. You're able to sprint. All the standard FPS items you're able to do, and you're able to do it rather effectively on the PlayStation Vita. So while the controls are the highlight of Resistance Burning Skies, everything else about the game feels just rather average. The graphics, average. The story, average. The multiplayer, limited. There's just a lot of unused potential in Resistance Burning Skies. It's not a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think it deserves the absolute, critical panning it's been getting, but it doesn't do anything spectacularly. Like most first-person shooters, Resistance Burning Skies can be divided into two parts. We have the single-player campaign, and then we have the multiplayer. The story, while enjoyable, is nothing to write home about. It's just your standard alien invasion story. You play a firefighter during an alien invasion and you're doing what you can to get back to your family. The story is more of an excuse in the single player to just go from set piece to set piece to set piece and fighting off the alien invasion and watching, go to a different set piece, the horde of enemies come at you, you kill the enemies, you move to the next set piece, you listen to the next person talk, and you continue going on forward. It doesn't really engage you all that much. It doesn't make you, oh wow, that was really, really cool. There are some enjoyable set pieces in the game, some boss battles, etc., that I really enjoyed and actually went through and played again. But other than that, the story as a whole, it's your standard FPS fare, nothing special, nothing over the top, nothing that's going to make you go, oh, cool, and show your friends. It's just your standard, go shoot, go shoot, go shoot, end of game. Graphically, Resistance is a mixed bag. There are sometimes you'll turn an area and the sun will hit your gun in just the perfect light and you're like, wow, this game looks really cool. And then you'll move and you'll see a sign that's some pixelated PS2 nonsense that doesn't look very good at all. Now, I may be more willing than most to forgive graphics. If a game's got tight gameplay, good controls, and a solid frame rate, I'm willing to let mediocre technical graphics pass. But my biggest complaint with the graphics in Resistance aren't necessarily the technical specs, but it's the scenery. It's the same constant brown, gray, building, concrete scenery. You go from Staten Island to the George Washington Bridge to an abandoned camp, and it's just the same looking things, the same brown, ugly, realistic, apocalyptic tone every single place that you go. I don't even remember if I ever saw a tree, and if I did, it was probably brown and it was dead. I mean, I understand the tone they're trying to set, I understand they're trying to set the alien invasion, but at some point I would like to see something a little different instead of playing a full 7-hour campaign just going to the same basic sceneries over and over and over again. Now, multiplayer when it's working is a lot of fun. There have been some servers issues the first couple of days, but they have patched it up and I've been able to play pretty consistently. It's one of the reasons this review wasn't up yesterday, because I wanted to make sure that I took the time to play quite a few multiplayer games to get the feel of it. While multiplayer is fun, it is rather limited. You're not going to get your 16-on-16 console-like Battlefield or your 32-on-32 on the PC. You're not going to have the extreme kill streaks and stuff like that of Call of Duty. It is rather limited. It is limited to 8 players. There is team deathmatch. There is a survival mode. And there is a regular free-for-all deathmatch. But overall, I enjoyed playing these things. I like free-for-all deathmatches, so 8-player free-for-all deathmatch is right up my alley. The multiplayer has the standard leveling up system that gives you the ability to level up your character, gaining access to new weapons, new perks. It's a good system. It's a tried and true system. It works pretty well. You gain experience by doing things in matches, like killing the last person that killed you or killing somebody on a kill streak. So there is a little bit of depth to the multiplayer. Overall, my feelings on Resistance Burning Sky is a mixed bag. There's just a lot of wasted potential there, but there's also a foundation there that I believe somebody can make a great first-person shooter for the PlayStation Vita. Until then, I think we're just going to have to settle for this solid, yet easily forgettable title.